Right, well, the first thing we're going to do, we're going to grab some tools. We're going to cut a cable up. We're going to use an old network cable. And what we're going to do, first things first, cut off the ends. I want to get rid of those. Next, we want to split back the core if we can. Not by too much, but enough to release the strands. We might need to make that a little bit longer actually. I'll do that on the next one. This is purely going to be a test fit. That looks better. Have more separated, because we're going to need at least, so I need to separate these out basically. So unravel each and every single one. There we go. Let me just trim this one again, because that needs to be definitely longer. Definitely longer. There we go. And oh, man, these things don't want to undo. Come on. Just untwist and pull them out. Oh. So then we take, this is going to be our controller. Order off eBay, it's about 7 or 8 quid. And again, you can see, you can push up, down, pull, back. Now, in fact, I think about mounting them. I was thinking about mounting to the wheel so you could actually have it like a proper indicator. It's going to be quite awkward to mount it to the wheel, because I can't find a box that will mount to the wheel, house everything in and keep there without kind of shaping it around the wheel. And to be honest, I don't want to get too heavy into it. And I was thinking it might be nice to have something that's more semi-permanent. So I might look at mounting it upright with that on the inside like so. So we need a hole up here, and we'll need a hole probably down the bottom or straight at the back. So hopefully now that will be long enough to go round. So if I measure cabling, that should be fine. So I need a knot about there. You can actually strip it with your fingernail. Just make sure you got good nails. We're going to need 4 of these. So we're going to do a white, a green, brown, and we'll do a blue and an orange. Blue was orange. I'll tell you not. We'll use the brown as well because that's easier. So again, pull and pull. So that's your basics done. Do the same on both ends, and literally, it is pretty straightforward. Actually, strip all ends, because you're going to use all of them. I forgot. I don't know why I was thinking that way. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ouch. So once they're done, this is what I really love about this. It's really straightforward. Just got to know your colours. Well, not really know your colours, but keep them in order. So we're going to do and obviously you can be as tidy as you want or as messy as you want. As long as you're not crossing the wires, you're good. And we may have to extend this. This is going to be a test fit because I've done no measuring because I'm lazy like that. So again, tighten that in. Yeah, it's going to need to be a bit longer. So loosen that. loosen that. I need to take about what? There we go. Wires are really long now. So, we'll try again with no real order. Because once you've got them in, you can just copy the order the other end. Let me do this in front of the camera because I keep moving it, so I do apologize. So again, unscrew, feed in the cable, tighten it in, same again on the other side, unscrew, feed in the cable, tighten it up, job done. Round to the other side. Try and do again. So this is where it gets really kind of awkward if you're not watching what you're doing with the cables. So all in all, it's 8 cables you need. This is where I may be upgrading my switch unit to make sure the controls are better. I actually prefer this cable, so I might actually buy more of this cable. I get a black one. Tighten that up. Sorry about my fingers covering, but kind of awkward. And I haven't got a separate tripod at the moment. But we're nearly done on this side of it. So one on there. So give them a good twist on, because you don't want them sliding out. And to be honest, it shouldn't be a major problem. So that's fine, that's fine. That's fine, and that's fine. So then to mount it, you would take this off. And the good news is, you just slide that over and that unit pops out. So that'll be mounted on the inside, that'll be mounted on the outside. All we need to do is drill a hole for the thread here to pass through. And then you thread it through and make sure you latch it in. That would lock in there, like so, so it's not going to come out. So relatively straightforward. There we are, there's the locking thread. You can use that to lock on as well. If you want to, that is. I kind of like to turn it around because then I can lock that on like so. Make sure that stays stable. So, next job will be the drilling. I've decided wheel this side, this facing, so the largest area is towards the wheel, the smallest area is out. That gives me a slight angle, and also it uses the angle here to kind of keep it all. There's your screws. Keep it kind of lined. What I need to do is measure desk to where it is roughly with the levers on the shifter, on the wheel, sorry. It'll probably be mounted about that height, but again I'll be measuring. Drill a hole, drill a hole either high or low, cable straight out, and then feed that into the button box, and I'll show you the rest in a moment. So let me do the measurements because I've got to go off and do that. I'll get the hole drilled and then we'll come back to that. Right, we're back. As you can see now, so we've drilled a hole, push that through, tighten on the nut, plastic washer at the back really. Once that's in, you've pretty much got it lined up. Make sure your up is up. Mine's slightly off axis, so I need to loosen that off. Let's put it down so up would be where? There. About there. So again, once you've got it, tighten it on. So again, there we are. So now comes the tricky part of trying to cram all this in at the same time. So again, what you're doing, you're pushing that on and you're turning it so it grabs on, and you pull that lever, which needs to lock it into that place, which isn't locking for some reason, so it's probably not lined up properly. So again, make sure you push it. And what we've done there is turned it by accident when we shouldn't have. So we'll turn it a little bit more, because it may actually work in our favour if we do. I think we can safely say it's stuck. There we go, right in. Let's have a look at this again. Don't be a pain in the butt. Right, so we need that on. There we are. So it's locked on. Let's find where the centre is again. Turn it till we've got the angle we need. There we are. Can put the cap back over to lock it in place. Because you don't want that turning when you've got it all set up and working. So again, there's up, down. That's fine. So we thread the other cable through the back. And again, I'm not worried about the back because no one's really going to see it. Now I might just change where that's mounting. It's a little bit too much for my liking. So there we are. So it's only going to be a simple box at the end of the day, just for this. I'm not going to put any buttons in there, nothing fancy. Now hopefully the remaining cable is long enough to do the rest of the job. That'd be funny if it wasn't. So the plan is, obviously, if I find a box that does the job, where I can mount it to the wheel, maybe do a 3D printed circuit, we'll be laughing. Right, so what I'm going to do now, I'm going to remove the other USB equipment off the PC and I'll be back with it shortly. Right, we is back. So this is going to be the add-in box. This is the original one that we made, missing a screw at the back, which we'll need to replace. I added a button here for start because I had a spare button. Now obviously I could turn the box, use this. This is how we stick them on. Sticky pads, I'm lucky enough I've got a nice big metal surface area where it sticks to the rig. Literally just rub the pad off. That sounds really bad. And what I normally do then is when I'm ready to stick these back down onto the rig, a little bit of isopropyl alcohol, clean up the surface area, stick them on, and 9 times out of 10, it is so well stuck down, there's no way. Anyway, I'll do that later because you don't need to see me taking all that off. But what we'll do, this is the main one now. Large enough hole here for me to feed the cable through. Now the question is, do I have enough cables? So first off, unplug. And again, same principle at the end of the day. Choose your switches, momentary switches here, toggle switches here. And I've just stuck my own labels on. Nothing fancy, it's just functional at the end of the day. So we are now opening up the box of tricks. And we'll have a little scan inside. Oh, that doesn't look good, does it? Right, so we'll take that out. So as you can see, you have to bear with me because this is very much a work in progress. Here's the main circuit board. Push fit. And looks like we've got a loose cable, or is that just a spare cable? I think it's just a spare one. Yeah, it's just a spare jumper cable. That needs to come off. That's confusing the issue. That could actually be causing some spikes, so I need to cut that. Let me just trim the end of that while I'm at it. There we are, done, out of the way. So there we have, we've got the Leo Bodner BBI 32. This is the original switch box that you're seeing. Just the cable pulling through. I really need a bigger workbench, I know that much. Right then. So we got a brown and the brown white. So, straightforward. Literally, see these little tabs here you can push down, and then in the front there you've got the little hole. You push the relevant cable in, one into ground, one into the positive. That's it. It makes the circuit for you. So, push. Best to try and feed in one at a time and keep the cable relatively straight if you can. Let's give it a little tug, see if it's latched. That one didn't latch. Let me just straighten up the cable because it's not exactly straight. So again, there we are. Went into the hole, grab the next one, press it down, wiggle it about a bit. There we are. So that's in, that's the circuit made there now. Those are the 2 wires in. So I got to do the rest now. So 2 there, and I'll put the other 2 there rather than shift them all down because then I'll have to reprogram everything. Right, so there we are. That is the wiring done. It is a mess because it is pretty much a bodge job of cables altogether. Haven't soldered anything because it is pretty much still in a testing phase. However, I've been using it for a good solid, 6 months if not longer, and it's really done well. So again, just to give you a closer look, you can see how they push in. So again, let me grab my screwdriver. You can see obviously you've got your switch at the back. You push that toggle down, you feed the cable in, and then that just locks into place. Gently tug on each cable as you put it in. Obviously let go of the switch and you should feel it latch on and the cable be secure. As long as it's secure in there, it's not going to go anywhere. It's a simple USB out, drill a hole. I've extended into these other boxes, so I've got to rewire because I had to check the wiring on this one. So I've got to send this off now, so that should be the right colour. I'm just checking now. Yeah, that's the right colour. So that's going to be put back together. I'll put this back together, and then what we'll do, I'll clean up the boxes. As you can see, they're a bit of a mess. So I'll clean them up, put them all back together, we'll put them on the rig, and we'll have another look, and we'll see what we got. I'll be back shortly. Right, we're back again. This is just showing you now that the buttons are now obviously all in place. There's the start one. It's mounted further back, so we've got a little bit more positioning. But then reach out, up, down, can toggle it any way I want. And again, this side, there's the coffee cup. There's the other side now. Again, you can move it around, do what we need to do. And again, just to show you, if we toggle that one up, you can see it toggling on the screens. And the other side, if we do up, down. So again, once they're plugged in, there's the button box now, just pressing random buttons. Once you've plugged them in, as long as you've got the pair plugged in to the circuit board does the rest. So there's next to no messing around. It is literally plug and play. As you've seen, there's no soldering involved with this. Okay, granted, it would be better soldered on the plug side of it, but this is really a whole test thing. Once I've worked out what I'm doing, I'm going to have a look at see if I can wheel mount. As you can see, there's not a lot of room to mount on the wheel, because literally that's it. And I kind of like the standalone feature, because it means then if I change rig or anything, I can just rip them off, stick them back down, and off you go. So that's it. Any questions, pop them down below. And as usual, I'll see you in the next one.